Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be with you. I've been looking forward to this YouTube. It's going to be a trailer for those my regular viewers. It's a trailer. The YouTube staff has given me a chance to put a trailer on the beginning of my my or our ministries. It's not mine. It's our ministries YouTube channel. So they'll to introduce our channel. So bear with me, my regular viewers. What you see behind me are the two poles about which our YouTube channel is based on. The first one was 2,000 years ago, Jesus on the cross. He suffered and died for us. God so loved the world that he sent his son. He willed that his son die for us upon the cross, that we will be saved. And then, so that's 2,000 years ago. And in 2014, we have Jesus still present in the Eucharist. This is a monstrance. At Mass, when we concentrate, here's Peanut. Peanut wants to be part of the whole program. He's pretty shaggy now, but he's going to get his hair done later this summer, for the fall, I think. I hope. Anyway, Jesus is present now in 2014, all the way down, ever since his Last Supper, and his death and resurrection. We make his death and resurrection present at every Eucharist, at every Mass. And after Mass, he has a permanent real presence. His body doesn't go away from the bread. It's now bread no longer, but it's transubstantiated. The substance of bread is changed into his body. The substance of the wine is changed into his precious blood. Anyway, we have what they call Eucharistic adoration, and they have a host there. His body, his sacred body, under the sign of bread, is there, and we adore him. So we think of Jesus 2,000 years ago, and right today, right down for 24/7 since 2,000 years ago, since Jesus did the Lord's Supper, we have him present. So past and present, but we make present Calvary every time we celebrate. We don't repeat it. We just make present, and we can join in his saving supreme act of love in the Eucharist, and we could be joined in not only in receiving all the graces that Jesus won for us by his death and resurrection, but we also could be co-victims with him, and that's exciting. And that's one of the things I emphasize on our little channel of Mother of God Ministries channel. And his love for him in the Eucharist. And I invite those who might not share our belief in the Eucharist just to get the Catholic Catechism. It's in paperback now, or look it up, or Google it up on the internet, and consider the Catholic Church that has the Eucharist, and him present now, as he was under the signs of bread and wine, as he was on Calvary and on Easter Sunday, that we celebrate the Paschal mystery, his death and resurrection. Every Eucharist we make a present, not repeat it, make present, and we are joined into that. So I encourage those who might not share our belief to look into it. Look back on John 6, it wasn't a symbol. Jesus didn't call them back when they said, well, this is too much for us, when he talked about eating his flesh and drinking his blood. It wasn't. And if it were a symbol, they wouldn't be leaving. But it was real, for real. Jesus gives us his body and blood, soul, and divinity for our nourishment. I am so glad. Yesterday morning I got the lecture, and the first reading was about come to me, and I'll give you to eat. Let me find it for you here on the missal, the lecture thing here. This is the book they use. They call it the lectionary. Okay, for the scriptures. He says, "All you who are thirsty, come to the water. You who have no money, come, receive grain and eat. Why spend your money for what is not bread, your wages for what fails to satisfy?" And then he says, "Heed me, I'll give you what satisfies what you need." And that's the Eucharist. That's what he's talking about. And the gospel yesterday morning was the multiplication of the loaves. He answered their need for, they were out in this faraway place, and they needed to eat, physical eat. But it symbolized not only him feeding all our needs, our physical needs, but the Eucharist. So it foreshadowed the Eucharist. Jesus gives us what we need. So these two posts, the Jesus on the cross, the saving action, the supreme act of love, giving himself for our salvation, and sent by the Father. It's the Father and Jesus that made the sacrifice. And by the power of the Holy Spirit, he unleashed the power of the Holy Spirit and made a whole new world. Through baptism, we are changed ontologically, existentially. We are raised to a new life, a whole new life. Yes, we're always prone. We have that vulnerability, those wounds of sin, prone back to our sinfulness. But as we grow in holiness, and holiness is union with Jesus Christ, we give up our old selves and we die to ourselves. And dear people, that's the greatest joy we have. Once we stop looking out for number one, for ourselves, and just give ourselves in love to others, it's the greatest joy. We have nothing to lose, because we only to lose all those things that make us unhappy. And that's what he wants to feed us with. He doesn't want us to go out and spend money on what is not bread and what fails to satisfy. All the stuff, the created stuff that are the things of the flesh, or self-absorption, that's all a waste of time. And it doesn't satisfy us. Only Jesus can satisfy us. St. Augustine, who took a long time to convert, said, "Late have I loved thee, Lord, and my heart was yearning for you, and you're the only one that could satisfy this. We're made for Christ. We're made for God, and Jesus brings us God." I got to stop it. This is a troller, but living this life of grace, this life of union with Christ, we look at the tree out there and everything as God showing his love for us in creation. We lift the veil up from just seeing the external thing, but seeing the love behind all of creation, the wonder. We live in a wonder world, and that's one of the things I emphasize in our YouTube channel. Mother of God Ministries YouTube channel, is living the present moment. Everything becomes a wonderland. Even the things that are hard and difficult, it's a time of real grace to die to ourselves, to trust in God when everything seems to be falling apart. Our world is, we're not all afraid of the world, or of all the things that the world is going through. No, God will be with us and bring a greater good, as he brought a greater good from the most terrible crime in the whole world of crucifying God, crucifying the Son of God, crucifying. He brought new life and a new world and a new kingdom, and we live that new kingdom in every moment of our lives. God bless you. Please join our channel. Subscribe to our channel, those who are seeing this trailer. And those are viewers. If you see any good YouTubes, there's about 380 of them. Share them. Send them to those who might profit from them. God bless you, all of you. Thank you for even watching this. Let it be a time of grace, a time of renewal, a paradigm shift in your lives. God bless you. Bye-bye.